Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Kindly sit down. Thank you. Spain Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency George Moraga Sanchez, Labor and Employment Secretary Silvestre Bello, Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Secretary Salvador Panelo, Presidential Assistant for the Visayas Michael Lloyd Dino, Senator Bongo, Eastern Samar Non-District Representative Maria Fe Abunda, Eastern Samar Governor Ivardoni, Ben Gian Down Mayor Analisa Gonzalez Juan. The other officers of the Mayor's League, Philippine Postal Corporation Chairman Norman Porhenco, mga kasama sa gobyerno, mga minahal kong kababayan. I would have opted to deliver a longer speech. It's only 2 pages. And I would have wanted to talk about this particular journey to the team that arrived here many years ago. I join you today as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the arrival of Magellan Elcano expedition in the Philippines, which is one of the most important parts of humanity's first circumnavigation of the globe. The event marked our ancestors' first contact with the Spaniards, and as an opportunity for our forebears to show their unity, magnanimity, and sovereignty to our foreign guests. In Humonhon, our ancestors exemplified the unique generosity of the Filipino when they helped the Spaniards' expeditions depleted crew upon their arrival. A few days later, in the Battle of Mactan, Lapu-Lapu and his warriors, in an exemplary display of firm leadership and extraordinary courage, defeated and drove away the colonials. I hope that we commemorate these events that shaped our history 5 centuries ago. We may reinvigorate the historical and social civic consciousness of the Filipino, especially among the new generation. Let us therefore all take part in this 2021 quincentennial commemorations slated this year, so that we may bring our history, culture, and traditions closer to our hearts. Indeed, history should make us reflect on the past and look beyond our future. We should therefore honor those who have toiled so that we may become a nation we are today, modern, progressive, and ever-thriving. And while the events that we celebrate would therefore lead to the beginning of colonization, the Filipino people can find relief in the knowledge that we have gone far in our efforts to correct the mistakes of the past. As inheritors of this complicated yet glorious past, the duty now rests on the shoulders to continue the aspirations of the forebears. I therefore call on our kababayans to appreciate our rich history and learn from the experience of those that came before us, so that we may never again allow any other tribe to compromise our sovereignty. Invaders who would come and who would stay here and contribute to the richness of our culture. And of course, in the way of how we live. It says here, thank you at mabuhay, sambayan ng Pilipino. Wala naman. Okay. That's the speech. Usually the presidential staff would prepare a speech. Ano lang, maiksi lang. I want to go to extemporaneous, but this is not the time. It is enough that we are here upon the invitation of the governor. And also, I forgot to greet all of you. This is a historic event. And though they may somehow, we may differ in our interpretation. But the fact is that they were here and that contributed something that was good for our country. I do not have anything about religion, but what was really planted here was the sword and the cross of Christianity. Hindi na bale yan. Total sa dumaan na yan. So that we may remember their kindness and their bravery, to extol on their bravery to make this hazardous journey that completed the circumvention of the world. They conquered history, and until now, we are also celebrating because it was the first time that we saw foreigners in our native land. That alone speaks a volume of stories, but we are also conscious of the fact that it was the reality of the moment at that time. So we thank everybody, the ancestors of the Spaniards who came here, and we hope that this event will further fortify our relations with the Spaniards. Maraming salamat po. The governor, I undertook this trip to just see for myself what beautiful island you have. Napakaganda ho na sa taas titignan ang ano ninyo. There's a beautiful place, like the beautiful people who are here na nakikita ko. Again, maraming salamat at we have to fly to Tacloban for another TAT, something like, I'd like to talk to the rebels there. Dito, I will have the time, I may come back someday para sa ibang program na. But this time, I would focus my presence and my narratives not against the NPAs, but rather I would talk, if we can find a sense of what we are really fighting for or against government. Maraming salamat po.